What's good with the YouTube? Back with another video, man. Hey, look, my dogs, it's about to be another banger. And the topic of this video is how my perception of women changed after finding God. So to give y'all a backstory, man, so y'all know how this happened, how everything started. When I was 7 years old, I was introduced to pornography. And even before then, the background that I come from, the culture that I come from, you know, the black culture, we're taught to view women as sexual objects. So that's something that was already being indoctrinated in me at an early age. Probably not, you know, to the point where I could really just full on comprehend. But when I got introduced to pornography at 7, that's when it was up. So I got introduced to pornography at 7 years old, and for as long as I can remember, my mind was perverted until the age of 25. Oh man, I would think about sex. I couldn't wait to lose my virginity. I was able to sexualize women and be able to conjure up an erection at a young age, very, very young age. My mind was so perverted, and I thought this was normal because I was told, you know, this is how it's supposed to be. Whether people are telling me, hey, Dion, or as y'all know me as Rashard, this is how it's supposed to be, or I'm looking around and watching how people operate, thinking that it's okay. You see what I'm saying? So a traumatic event, watching pornography, I'm looking at it as enjoyment, but I'm not knowing like that's really trauma. You watching something you ain't supposed to be watching. So when you get introduced to that stuff, that's not an enlightening moment. That's trauma, bro. Music, you know what I'm saying? The music culture, you know, that I grew up in, you already know black hip hop culture. I'm watching music videos, I'm seeing the women shake their behinds, the men degrade them, the things that they saying about these women. So that's how all this junk was getting indoctrinated into my brain, you see what I'm saying? And then what happened when I turned, 14, lost my virginity. Before then, I received fellatio from a girl. So it's like I got introduced to that stuff at a very young age, man, young age. And the crazy thing about it is I was always told, you respect women. You know, my mother would always tell me that, you know what I'm saying? But society and everything that was going on around outside of my mother was telling me and showing me the complete opposite. So, you know, I'm understanding, okay, I have to respect women, but I can also, treat them like, or let alone look at them as sexual objects. And that's just what it was, just coming up in confusion. Then boom, I turned 15, right? Yeah, 15. I got into my first real relationship, I would say, and it lasted for about a year. And that heartbreak, man, it hit hard. It hit hard. But it didn't hit as hard as the second heartbreak. And that's why I got to give y'all the origin and everything and how God was able to rid me of all of that, because it was only God. Whenever y'all see how this played out, I'm still amazed still to this day. So anyways, we was in a relationship for a year, got heartbroken. Y'all already know how that song go. You heartbroken, you can't eat, can't sleep, think about her all the time, who she with, so it was tough for me to get over her, but it was definitely a traumatic event that kind of shifted things, but not so much the way it was just so daunting. And then shortly after that, I fell for another woman. And this relationship lasted 6 years. This woman I loved so much. This woman, you couldn't tell me we weren't gonna get married and have kids. You couldn't tell me. We dearly loved each other. But after 6 years, it ended. And mind you, I'm at the age of 20. We started going out when I was 17. We broke up when I was 23. So we basically grew up together, and she all that I knew. I ain't had no other girlfriend like that. Well, I had about like one or two, but I haven't been in a solid, solidified relationship like this to where we're actually together. You see what I'm saying? So that broke me. And I was angry. I was upset. I was heartbroken. And there was a shift in me to where I wasn't the same for a long time. It's like I just felt my heart just become cold. It's like I went down and something else came up, literally. And then that's when, I was inhabited by more demons. And I didn't mention this earlier, but whenever I watched pornography for the first time, a demon latched itself onto me, multiple. You see what I'm saying? But that's just God reveals all, man. But yes, it switched in me. So now I'm looking at it like, okay, I've been in a relationship for 6 years. I poured my heart into this. It didn't work. Now I'm angry. I'm upset. I ain't gonna never love another woman. So I'm just like, oh well, I'm just finna do my thing. I'm finna use them. You see what I'm saying? And on top of that, you know, I'm looking at it like it's get back. Cause I didn't want to do harm to the woman that, you know, that broke my heart. Cause I still loved her. So I'm like, I don't want to do nothing to her. And plus she gone with the wind, you know. So I'm like, okay, bet. You know, it's been 6 years. I'm about to catch up on what I've been missing out on, right? And ain't none of these girls finna get my heart. So I'm just cold-hearted, you know, having sex with women, using women, and just really honestly had a disdain for them. I deem them as unworthy. They're sexual objects there to be used. Watch my old content. You'll see it clear as day. Look here. No, don't watch it. If you're gonna watch it for educational purposes. Don't watch it because you want to learn what all that poison I was saying. But you can see for yourself the disdain that I had. I grew real manipulative, real charming, getting really honestly transformed into a little mini Satan. Because I would be able to allure women. Women couldn't tell like too much if, you know, I hated them. It was just in the sense of, oh, he's cute, he's charming, he's respectful. You see what I'm saying? And they see that I was an a-hole, but they just thinking they could be the one to change me. And even if a woman felt like, oh, he probably hate women, they thought that I could be the one that'll love them. You know, I mean, they could be the one that could change. And it's like, no, you need God for that. So I just viewed them as sexual objects. I deemed them as unworthy. I just hated them, to be honest with you. And you couldn't even tell me that I hated them then. I didn't believe I did. I didn't think I did. I'm just thinking I'm a man. I'm just doing what a man do. I do my thing. You see what I'm saying? But try standing before God and Him asking you, you know, why do you hate my creation? And you just, I didn't hate him. I didn't hate him. Look at the way you treated him. Look at the way you spoken about him when he's showing you them conversations that you had that you thought nobody was watching. You see what I'm saying? Then it's a whole different conversation, whole different ball game. You could fool the world. You can even fool yourself sometimes. You lie to yourself so much, you can fool yourself. You can't fool God. You see what I'm saying? So now this is where that shift started to happen. So, and mind you, I would always sexualize women in my brain. It was normal. I thought I didn't see nothing wrong with it, and I just thought it was normal. As soon as I seen a woman, my mind would go to sex. You see what I'm saying? YouTube, let's not get sensitive. But I'd be undressing them in my mind, you know, whatever the case may be. Sometimes I'd be on the pursuit of them, sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I'm feeling, how she look, whatever the case may be. So anywho, I went on semen retention for the first time in my life, and that's when I encountered God. I encountered God after about a month. It was about like 30 days, 40 days, and I started to notice God started to change me in ways that I wasn't looking for, in ways that I wasn't trying. But when I encountered God for the first time, I instantly knew what love was. I instantly knew the times that I thought I loved somebody, or the times that I did love somebody, but didn't love them the way God intended them to be loved, and the times that I had genuine love for somebody and was steering them away from God. You see what I'm saying? So that was a huge wake-up call, and that really changed me, you know. And but it was for the better. Oh man. But yeah, like I was saying, so that was a huge awakening in itself. And this is what man, this is what caught my attention. I remember I go out in public, and I remember I was looking at a woman, not in a sense of let me look at her, but I would just see a woman, she would come across my vision, and I remember just looking, and no sexual thoughts was popping up. It's like, and I'm like looking, I'm just thinking, I'm like, I'm not trying to fight any sexual thoughts, and I can't even think of one even if I wanted to. I'm like, man, what's going on? You know how perverted of a mindset you gotta be to have pure thoughts and you think something wrong? I'm like, hold on. It's like, I ain't gonna say it's light, but God was giving me a new mind, a new lens. And as I'm looking at this woman, I'm like, she's beautiful. And not beautiful in the sense, oh, she's beautiful, she's alluring. I'm like, God created her. I started to see her as God's creation. So now I'm just walking around, going places, and every woman that I seen them from the lens God wanted me to see them from. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, man, what's going on? I'm like, every woman I would see, I'm like, God created that. God created her. I'm like, she's beautiful. And I'm just like, whoa, what's going on? I didn't ask for this, but I'm like, I'm liking it. But I didn't ask for this. I'm like, this ain't nobody but God. I'm like, this ain't nothing. Oh, I want to start viewing women from I say that now, you know, this is a prayer that I pray. But then I'm like, what's going on? But I like it. Because it's like I had my encounter with God. I knew what love was. I knew how to love. And I realized how much perversion was stopping me from loving people the way that they intended to be loved. How much perversion and lust, it literally, oh man, it bounds you. You're in bondage, and you can't conjure up the love that God, you cannot conjure that love up. You literally have to experience and encounter God to have that type of love for humanity, to have that type of love. You see what I'm saying? And for me to build a platform on telling guys on how to date women, how to play them, you know, you can have sex with multiple women, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all that stuff out the window. I don't, that's nonsense. You see what I'm saying? But it changed. The desires of my heart when I was a kid finally started to come back to me, because it got to the point where I'm just like, I don't want to be married, I don't want kids, I don't want none of that. And when I was a kid, that's all I wanted, was to be the best dad the world has ever seen and make an impact. And God literally revealed it to me, and he's making that out of me as we speak, still to this day. To this day. But I'm like, dog. So I'm able to be more present. I'm able to be a better everything. You know, so when I see women, I don't see, you know, oh, she a thought, or she damaged goods, or she this, she that. I see them as a soul worth being saved, and somebody who can be redeemed by the love of Jesus Christ, by the grace of Jesus Christ. It changed, and that's why I'm like, this is what it's about. Because who am I to see anybody where they are and I condemn them or judge them in my mind as if they can't be redeemed? But I'm somebody who was demonically possessed. I'm somebody who was a pornography addict for 12 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm somebody who lied. I'm somebody who manipulated people. I'm somebody who betrayed people. And I'm pretty sure had somebody would have judged me while I was at that point in my life, I'd feel some type of way. I'm like, you don't know me. And not knowing God had a plan for me then to bring me to where I am now. So who am I to see people where they are now and condemn them and judge them? But it's society that wants you to put people down. It's society that wants you to deem people who they are and who like nah, God ain't done working on them just like he wasn't done working on you. How arrogant is it for you to get to where you are now and to pretend like you wasn't just lost? So when I see people that's lost, whenever I see, you know, women, you know, I don't judge them, I don't condemn them. I'm like, I get it. You can be redeemed. And that's not a popular statement. That's not a popular statement. Because the world gonna tell you the opposite, bros. But it's like, man, it is what it is. I look here, I ain't gonna pander. I ain't finna sit here and, you know, get on my soapbox and be like, you know, oh yeah, you know, women are the world, cherish the women. Look here, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, and I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. I'm gonna tell y'all how God changed me. I don't wanna operate in no deception, and I dang sure don't wanna operate in no hate and no condemnation, because there is no condemnation in Christ. So who am I to sit in this camera and just talk to my brothers, which I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying, and uplift y'all and just be like, oh, the women were just down, you know what I'm saying? I look at a fellow brother, be like, man, you got this, bro. God got you. You can be redeemed. You see what I'm saying? But I look at the woman, and I'm just like, oh, she a thought. She this, she that. You hypocrite. You hypocrite. God has loads of love and kindness to give us. And you're supposed to be a follower of Christ, but yet you picking and choosing where you want to place the love of Christ. You picking and choosing. You hypocrite. And that ain't how it work, man. That ain't how it works. Love thy neighbor as you would love thyself. Not love thy brethren, you love your neighbor. That's everybody. Look at a little squirrel. Squirrel. I ain't got no food. I just want to get in the camera. Squirrel. Come here. He burying a nut or something. But yeah, so God, he changed me, man, and my whole perception of women changed. And I'm like, oh yeah, when he blesses me with that wife, it's over. It's game over. I know what to do. I know who to surrender to, and I'm able to love purely because God has gotten that perversion out. And I got nobody to thank for that but my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Make sure y'all like, y'all comment, y'all share, subscribe, man. God bless y'all. Until next time.